The corrosion of memory always betrays the sense of smell. At the point where time oxidizes, the metallic clang of existence rusts faintly, and at the apogee, that is, the transparent terminus we can never reach, the residue of sensation settles. That rust-colored absence of scent is the inversion of what once breathed. When wind transforms into concept deep within the lungs, the sense of smell is banished to the margins of thought, leaving only a reddish-brown reverberation as untouchable heat. On an unmanned orbit, words forget themselves while tracing rusted spirals. There, meaning weighs heavier than air, and meaninglessness travels farther than light. If sensation is proof of corrosion, then the scentless red is the silent epitaph upon consciousness's tomb, or perhaps a prayer, the final barrier preventing existence from reaching the pinnacle of corrosion. The distant echo sinking into a motionless thought, and I stand before that color, reading the silence of rusting thought in the shape of lungs, as if smelling time that cannot be smelled. There exists a distant, quiet color, the color of metal that lost its light at memory's edge, that is rust iron. Where scent has peeled away, only time nurtures rust, and color bears witness to existence in itself. Color holds a measure of distance. At the far point, vividness thins, leaving only low-temperature shades. Those shades shift the center of gravity of emotion, gradually wearing away the contours of existence. Words stop reaching there, their edges quietly catching on the rust-colored rim. Memory moves back and forth like breathing, but the rust at the far point has forgotten how to inhale or exhale. What remains is only a faint echo, as if the former action has transformed and now acts in reverse. The echo assembles a single cold scene, imbuing the observer's consciousness with a gravitational field of temporal erosion. Forgetting is not negation, forgetting is a coating. The coating conceals former contours, hiding untouchable heat. Untouchable heat lowers its temperature to mark its existence. The iron rust color at the far point is a record of that temperature, sending a quiet signal to the viewer. The signal is neither command nor solution. The signal is neither question nor response. It merely draws a line. We cannot cross that line nor return, but we can read the color before it. The read color returns to the distant point, devoid of scent once more, setting a new stillness in the world's corner. What remains at last is not the rust-colored name, but its sense of distance. That sense of distance sets the measure of memory, quietly showing us what to hold and what to let go. The rust-iron hue of the distant point stands there, unassuming, renewing just one aspect of our perspective, the richness of being apart. It solidifies at the very edge of sight, where recognition abandons its focus. The color is rust, the red that once boasted brilliant life, or the steel that proclaimed its strength, touched by the oxygen called eternity, completely relinquishing its passion and structure. This is the color that remains as the conclusion, and it has no scent. No sweet hint to stroke memory backward, no choking announcement of decay. What remains is a complete silence, its strings severed, as if the volatile solvent of emotion had evaporated entirely into an eternal vacuum. Time is the most ruthless chemist, the most merciless bleach. Every heroic tale, every poem of tragic love, stripped of its heat, its flesh and blood of meaning carved away, reduced to the inorganic fact of mere iron oxide. The absence of scent proves time's complete weathering. It is no longer a past to be recalled, but merely a point of light, unspectralizable, existing only there. Through the engraving of indexical symbols, we attempt to tether it within a conceptual confinement space. Yet the resonance of that iron mocks the system of philosophy we have built, pointing instead to the wilderness of time that leaves not even the tracks of history. And the sound of rust resonates with the very solitude of a soul incapable of wabi. Is that distant point the heaven that severed all connections with us? Words spin empty, metaphors slip away, meaning evaporates. Or perhaps that distant point lies not in the outer cosmos, but at the very depths of our inner abyss. The soul's extreme point where emotion burns out, hope shatters, and even reverberations vanish. There, neither joy nor sorrow emits any scent. It is a landscape painting of resignation, emerging at the end of forgetting even the fact of loss. A quiet portrait of nothingness itself, fused with the self. Just look, the rust-colored iron of the scentless distant point. That is the color of the closed eyelids of the forgotten god. The absence of smell is the reverberation after existence has crossed its own threshold.